Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
This is the next search on February 28, 2020, 7:44 p.m. How does the FBI find people? The people who spell P-E-O-O-P-L-E. Did the defendant find out how the FBI finds people in this case? Oh, she found out.
There's a lawsuit.
How does he do that?
We'll just give that camera some time to turn on this morning. Apparently, it thought there was vacation. I did not schedule vacation for that camera, so not sure why it's not.
Just subject matter jurisdiction.
All right. Let's see if it's coming together. There we go. Okay. Here we are. I think I've got my studio put back together because Mrs. R.A. was recording. She was recording last over the weekend. So more experience. Yes, Mr. Farag. That would be highly appropriate. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. Happy Monday. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. That's what today is.
A video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won.
Welcome. It's great to have you all here for this special edition. When are we going to break for lunch, Judge? Mr. Frog has the best comments. That is amazing. So you guys found out that the commands have worked, and they have always worked. The audio has always worked during the intro. But today you guys discovered that. So great job. Let's see. We have a few things to go over. First of all, the big one is we have a new winner. A new winner when it comes to owning the internet. Amanda Lynn. Hi, Amanda. Amanda, I believe not only were you first in chat, I believe this is the first time you've been first in chat. Now, I realize that in the sports world, there are statisticians that track all these things, and I'm just going by my memory, which is less what's the word? Reliable, less reliable. But I don't believe you've ever won the internet before. So congratulations on winning the internet. My mic sounds off.
When are we going to break for lunch, Judge?
My mic sounds off. Let me run through my mic sounds and see what I'm doing here. Levels 32, no phantom power. Correct? Audio processing. It's got everything normal. Voice, tone. Tone is deep. Strength is soft.
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won.
I don't know who won. I think we're good. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it is the big breakfast I ate this morning. Makes me sound different. Ham and eggs for breakfast. It was delicious. All right, welcome. We have Amanda. Anyway, first in chat. This is a big day for you. Congratulations on being first in chat. That comes with its own penalty, punishment, or prize, depending on how you view this. You are first in chat, so you get to own everything internet related worldwide. It's something that only we can give away.
Don't miss the forest for the trees.
Because no one else is pretentious enough to say they own the internet and thus can give it. So there we go. We're giving it away. Let's see. Hang on. Uncivil Law, do you have a birthday? Did we miss your birthday? We're gonna have to sing to Kurt. Okay, this is what we need. We need a list. That's the list I'm looking for. Let's see. Buffer.
When are we going to break for lunch, Judge?
Here we go. Braxton, Steve, Martin Luther King Jr. all have birthdays today. Amy L. gifted 10 memberships before he went live. Amy L., thank you for gifting 10 memberships. I just saw that here. Thank you very much. That is wonderful. I realized there were a couple things that went by that I didn't see because I took a call when I was supposed to be going live, and so I was late and it fell off the screen. Selena K., I so love that I've been here 9 months. It's a great place to hang out and watch true crime. Thank you very much, Selena. It's been wonderful. It wouldn't be the same without you. Appreciate you being here. So we have a few people to sing to. Kurt is on this, the belated list. So we're going to sing to Kurt as well. But yes, it is Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. And everyone say, yeah, of course, it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. But Martin Luther King Jr. Day does not always fall on his birthday, because Martin Luther King Jr. Day happens on the third Monday of January, which it is right now. But it also, just this year, happens to also fall on January 15th, which is Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, which is great. I wanted to pay a little bit of a tribute to him, because in our quest for justice, which we all have here as being true crime addicts, you could say that he was a forefather in the same quest, in a different realm, but also in the same realm. So we're gonna possibly read excerpts from his famous "I Have a Dream" speech today, in honor of him, and today as we celebrate the great man that he was and the great work that he championed, and died for. Just a big shout out to all those who are celebrating Martin Luther King Day today, which should be all of us Americans, because we all believe in freedom and equality. So thank you very much. All right. That being said, we have to sing "Happy Birthday." Now, how do I respectively include Martin Luther King Jr. in the birthday song today? Do we call MLK?
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
Do we call him Martin Luther? I'm not sure which one. I'm not sure which one we. Dr. King. Should we call Dr. King? Dr. King, because we have to do a shorter version than what we have. Where's the message gone? Selena, thank you for gifting a membership. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Ricky C, wow, 5 months already. Glad I found this channel. Thank you, Ari, for keeping us entertained. I'm glad I could help. Kurt says I'm 43 years young. 43 years young. It doesn't look a day over 20. Kurt, you've got the secret to youth right there. All right, let me find that we've got the birthday music. We're going to sing to Kurt as well. He's going to be on the list. Sing me happy birthday 2 days ago, but still. Okay, Kurt, we will do that. I'm just scrolling to make sure I've got everybody. Where's the buffer word? Sharon, I know you set me up with that, and I cannot find it now. I had it on the screen, and I clicked off of it. Now it's gone. Here's a good warning for today. Ivan called me yesterday, and he's like, guess what just happened? There it is. I found it, Sharon. Thank you. I've got it. All right, so we're going to include Kurt on this list as well. If there's anyone else, I apologize. I think we've got a good list to sing to. I know there was another person on Saturday. She sent a super chat on Friday saying you can sing to me on Saturday, and I can't find what the super chat was. Hang on one second. We'll look. All right, here we go. We're just going to sing. Warm up, everybody. La 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 la. It's going to be Dr. King and Kurt added to this list. So Braxton, Steve, Dr. King, and Kurt. Blend your voices, everybody. Project. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Braxton, Steve, Dr. King, and Kurt. Happy birthday to you. Kurt, what a great day. What a great person to share your birthday with. It's awesome. Awesome we can celebrate Dr. King today. What's with the new keyboard? Oh, this is a wireless keyboard that goes to this computer, which I almost never type on. So usually, it lives right there. That's all. So you normally just don't get to see it. All right, so I'm technically a millennial. Look me up. Despair. Let's see. Happy birthday, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. May we all achieve our dreams. I wanted to share that because, honestly, I'm not going to read his entire speech. I do recommend that you do listen to his entire speech. It's on a regular basis, at least annually. It seems strange to think that our nation's history had this much inequality in it this recently. And some would say that battle is still being fought in many fronts today, and that hurts my soul to think that is still the case in many places and in some people's hearts. Hopefully the day will come when Martin Luther King's dream is fully realized, as he spelled it out in his speech, and basically from all corners of the land. But let's see. We'll turn down the birthday music here. Let me go over to our little speech here just for a little minute. I'm pulling this from the National Archives, Government National Archives, from the March after he was presented. And I'm going to do a little bit of minor edits, just for my purposes, because that's how I chose to do it. But we're going to jump around a little bit. Martin Luther King says, "I'm happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. 50 years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon of light of hope to millions of slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. I have a dream. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even in the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, one day, right down in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands in hand with little white boys and little white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low, and rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is our faith that I shall go back to the south with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we'll be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation to a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we'll be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day. This will be the day when all God's children will be able to sing with new meaning. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. So let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from
Joyful just sent a super sticker with 1.99.
Sorry about that. Thank you. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from the Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi. Let every mountainside, let freedom ring. And when this happens, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Happy Martin Luther King Day. I think the best way we can celebrate today is by making sure that in the corners of our hearts that there is not any hint of inequality, of injustice, where we view one people as lesser or greater than another, Dr. King was a great man who had a vision in a time when most people could not see that light, when they couldn't see the possibility of that coming to pass. I think he did see it. I mean, I'm not joking. I think he saw that. He saw that day, and although it became darker after he gave the speech, it was not the next day. His speech did not usher in the world that he saw in vision. It opened the door and it set the path, and it laid the groundwork for it. So thank you very much, Dr. King. Appreciate you. We honor you on your birthday, and congratulations to everyone who has a birthday to celebrate the same day. What a great day to have a birthday on. Thank you very much. Wow. That was all. I had not envisioned that. I thought it was just going to be a little bit smoother, but it hit me reading those words. So it's up to us to carry on. Yes, it is. The fight isn't over, sadly. The fight isn't over. And I believe all of us, me included, have reason to give introspection and do better in my own life. All right. Now, where were we going? Where were we going to go today? We do not have any court today because we are celebrating Martin Luther King Day, which is a national holiday. Because of that, I know there are some courts out there that are still doing arraignments, which happen 24/7, Saturdays, weekends. Thank you, Judge Boyd. Appreciate that. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up on chat, and my eyes are a little blurry. 1 second. Thank you very much, Gerda G. Thank you for paying attention to Dr. Martin Luther King. Appreciate that. Thank you. Kimbers, Ohio says, so that was powerful. Thank you, Kimbers. Allie Lane, my 1 month anniversary. Yay! This fabulous channel keeps my generous neurons firing and gives me interesting topics of conversation at dinner. Big Aussie fan. I'm going to talk about dinner time conversations just a second. Dynadu 420. Thank you very much, says Recovery Addict. You're so amazing. Those words hit me too. You're an amazing man, and thank you for all you do in bringing us together in love. Dynadu, thank you, and thanks for your generosity as well. EJF, you did that speech proud. Thank you. It was beautiful. There's more to it. I read excerpts, didn't read the whole thing, but great speech. Let's see. Who was it that said dinner time topics right here? Allie Lane, a fun little fact about my family. When we eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner, anytime we sit down at the table as a family and eat, and we try to do that for as many meals as we possibly can. So usually at least 2 a day we sit down. Lunch is sometimes lunch is fend for yourself, right? I'm going to go wide so you don't see me blubber here, but there we go. Find the tissue. 1 second. Okay. So every time we sit down for family dinner, we try to tell a story. That's a story from our family's past. So it may be something that some of the older kids remember, maybe something that that's something that happened that only my wife and I remember, or something from our childhood growing up. We just like to perpetuate these stories so they know, where we came from and who we are and what some of the funny things that happen in life. So this morning, Mrs. R.A. had to run and handle something as we're eating breakfast. She says, Scott, you tell the story. And so I told a story, and I think the statute of limitations has run out. That's why I'm telling this. So, but I'll be careful and not say, locations that happened and everything. But there was a time when I was really into science experiments, especially the expansion of gases, understanding how something can go from solid to a gas without going to a liquid state in between. And you find that in like dry ice. Dry ice will go from a solid to a gas without turning liquid in between. And there's a word for that. Somebody's going to remind me what it is in chat. But one of the ways you can observe this and see it happen quickly is actually putting dry ice in liquid, which makes it cool or warm very quickly, and it goes straight from a solid to a gas. And doing so, it expands because a solid is very dense, right? But gases, they're bigger, so it makes bubbles. You've seen the smoke and the little carbon dioxide stuff. Well, I thought it would be really fun to see this happen in in a sort of a closed environment. And by closed environment, I mean a Shasta 3-liter bottle. A Shasta 3-liter bottle, it looks like a 2-liter bottle, but it's 1 liter bigger. And the mouth is a little bit bigger, which is good because it allowed larger chunks of dry ice to be put in there. And so here I am in my backyard. And I think, well, I want to watch this, but I don't want, if it were to rupture the sides of the bottle, I don't want to, I don't want to have the piece of the bottle fly out and possibly injure somebody. So I thought, well, maybe if I bury the bottle up to like the neck of the mouth of the opening. So I dug a hole and I buried the bottle up to that high and I filled it in with dirt, packed it all around it. And then yeah, I smell trouble. Sublimation is going directly. Thank you very much. Sublimation is the right word. Thank you, all of you guys who reminded me. I could not recall that word this morning. Anyway, so yeah, you can sort of smell where this one's going. But I dug a hole, and I put the bottle in the hole, and then I put chunks of dry ice, a lot of chunks of dry ice in the bottle. And when I'd packed the dirt all around it and everything, the opening's still open. And then I took some water and I poured it down into it, which immediately sort of made this cool little fountain of smoke out of the opening. Not smoke, but like carbon dioxide. And then I took the lid and I screwed it on tight. And and then I thought, well, this might be a problem. So I piled more dirt on top of it. And then I'm thinking, oh no, but now the dirt, if this were to rupture underground, now the dirt is going to blow up. And so I thought, well, how can I fix that? And I went and I got a quarter sheet of plywood. I took that and set it on top of that. So the plywood would hold everything down. And my sister and her boyfriend were on the trampoline in the yard, and the boyfriend was watching me. He's like, what are you doing? And they hadn't been paying close attention. And I explained in a quick summation of what I had done. And he gets this panicked look on his face, and he's like scrambling to run out of the yard. And I said, don't worry, it's probably not going to. And at that moment, the board disappeared, and we never found any of the pieces. And every loose bit of dirt packed around that vacated and went up. And for the next 30 seconds, little rocks and dirt were raining down in the neighborhood. My ears were ringing, but I felt it in my soul. It was a concussive blast like no other. He had reason to be concerned. So let me just say, those science experiments, you've got to be very careful with them. I did learn a little bit about sublimation and a little bit about maximum pressures that can be contained in a canister. So that's all. Hopefully I didn't confess to anything too bad, but it could have been so much worse. Knowing that I was standing there on the top of that, packing down the dirt and piling stuff on, walking over, putting the board on, it could have been so bad. It could have been so bad. This was a long time ago when it was pre 2000. And, lots of things changed around that time. Yes, my ears were ringing quite a bit. Anyway, so now I tell the story. I don't reenact the actual experiment. If you want to do this experiment and learn with the same principle without any danger, I would say get a Ziploc bag. Get a Ziploc bag, a little bit of water in the Ziploc bag. Carefully get a piece of dry ice and put it in, and then zip the Ziploc bag closed, because it has a maximum pressure it can contain. But before the bag ruptures, because the bags are very strong, if you get the Ziploc brand, if you get the cheap brand, they're just going to spring a leak. But the Ziploc bags will swell and swell, and it will look like it can't get any bigger, and then the zipper will give way, and it will open up, and it makes a loud pop. But there's no fragmentation, there's no danger that way. That's the best way to do that. So I've learned my lesson, and I let my kids do that one. Anyway, young and dumb, very much, Stream Laundry, very much. It's interesting because not too long, I missed a super chat. Kim, hang on, let me see if I can find it. Not too long after that, I actually did find a bomb, a real bomb, and it was not one that I had created. It was one somebody else had built, and I happened to stumble across it. There it is, Kim. Thank you, R.A., and God bless you. And Dr. King, what an amazing man, and may his vision come to pass. God bless America, the land that I love. Thank you, Kim. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm sorry for missing that when it first came through. I did find an actual explosive and reported it to the police, as you should do. And it took a long time. There's a long story in that one. But I ended up in the police station Christmas Eve being interrogated by a police detective who, because it was a small police agency, had to play both good cop and bad cop. So it was very much like the Lego guy that spins his head in the Lego movie. And like one time he's all happy and good, and then he spins his head, and that was all mean. It was like that. So I do experiments at work where I show the kids how liquid goes from liquid to gas and back to the fast form. Okay, what happens with the liquids in the universe or in a vacuum? Those are fun. What's you might know, Angela. What is the experiment? Is it like is it an iodine clock? Have you heard of the iodine clock experiment where you have two chemicals and you mix them? And then you hold them, and then it just instantly turns from crystal clear to black, like black ink. Have you ever seen that one? Martha, I think this might be part of the reason why I have tinnitus even to this day. My ears are always ringing now. No fire department came. No, it was... Tisha, the way you put it, it sounds so wrong. I was doing a science experiment that had a catastrophic ending. It was in a controlled environment. Hell yeah, mostly luck. Tell you the number of times things could have ended badly. Disclaimer: all stories are for entertainment only. Yes, I'm reading from a book of fictional stories when I tell these. Reverend Breezy. Recovery Addict doing his very best to temper our expectations of his integrity. Oh, man. Fun. I was going to show you something. Let me actually... I saw somebody mention this in chat, and so I wanted to show you... Let's see, I have to turn these off to get it to work. Someone asked me to fix the walls. You know, we've been following this case, right? You remember this case? We've been following this one, and the walls were yellow. Someone asked me to fix the walls, and to do that, I have to make the screen all purple. So give me just 1 second. Let's see. Let's make it color 1, which is purple right there. I'm going to take that as the background. There it is, and now I'm going to turn me off, and this one on. Boom. This is sort of how it would look, and it's a little funny because everybody who has I'll actually play this a little bit. Let's see, where's the play button? Looking. Can barely see the mouse. There it is. So this is the treehouse trial.
Have a seat right here on the witness stand and speak loudly and clearly so we all.
And it's very blurry right now. Let's see if we can get a better view. So you can see right here. Let me pause. Oops. If you will pause.
Yes.
Anything with any skin tone or color close to that green, or even if it's just reflected off somebody, turns purple as well. So this is why I can't make the walls just go green. But
good morning, sir.
Skip ahead just.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
All right. I'm going to ask you for your name. What's your full name, sir?
Roger Ellen Rugged.
Oh, man, I love this testimony.
Rugged. How do you spell your last name?
Raugutt.
All right, Mr. Rugged. First of all, good morning to you, sir. Thank you for being here this morning. Mr. Rugged, I want to talk to you a little bit about an event that happened to you a few years ago.
Anyway, so this is...
Do you live in Key West?
Yes, I do.
Yes,
How long have you lived in Key West?
Since '84.
So a long time.
Long time.
And
hang on.
Where were you born and raised?
Mobridge, South Dakota.
Okay, came to Key West
I can't
in
get it to
84.
stop playing. Oh, there we go. Okay. Anyway, let's cut to 4. So this is the picture as it's keyed out right here. So I just have to have a picture behind it. So right before I had a color behind it, but the way it works, I can have a picture behind it as well, and you could play.
Is that right?
Yes,
like
it
that.
did.
All right, and have you?
So you can see everything where you see through them. But we'll turn that off because it just looks a little freaky. I'll turn this back on. I've gotten used to the meringue court. Can we rewatch this witness again? We can. Let's see. The purple is terrible. It is. I could have used a different color, but purple, is rather eye-catching. Keep the green, please. Careful if Judge sees you doing this, may change his mind doing the live coverage of Koberger. I think Judge is going to be upset with whatever happens with Koberger. Judy M says, thanks, Scott, for all the positivity and humor on your channel. Your followers in the community surrounding you are a delight. It's been great. Judy, thank you very much. Thanks for 2 months of membership. I think you've been here longer than that, but thank you. Let's see. Why don't we watch some old good ones? Oh, try your artwork as the background. That would look like this. Let's see. I didn't load it. No. Okay, hang on. I've got it. We've got the image for the thumbnail for tomorrow. Let's see. That's right here.
Don't miss the forest for the trees.
Okay, so now we take this and then turn that on. And it would look like that if you were talking, which is.
Send someone with more experience.
Let's see. Let me see if I can adjust the thresholds just a little bit.
When are we going to break for lunch, Judge?
See, I can make the walls white. Just skip ahead just a tiny bit and see what it looks like with the wider picture. Yeah, we can make white walls.
I was kicked back, taking it easy.
It just looks like everything's overexposed is all.
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won.
I don't know who won. White walls almost looks good. Now it looks like a normal courtroom.
Mr. Regan, I'm just showing you a photograph, okay? Tell me if you recognize this person.
Looks like Matt, doesn't it?
Is that who you knew as Matt?
I thought so, maybe. I don't know who that is.
I love this part. Looks like Matt. Wait, I don't know who that is. All right, let's turn this guy off. All right, I like the white. We can do that. It's better than the green. The green is growing on me, though. The white walls look more normal. What you end up getting, the problem that bothers me is all the reflections, say everywhere you would see a reflection of the wall light, say on somebody's skin tone, if they're bald and have like a shiny head, that just turns bright white. It almost becomes invisible because it's all white. Try pale gray. I don't think I can do pale gray. It goes on the scale right here. See, I'm trying to find the threshold of where it will cut out. So if I choose right there, right here, let's see the background. How's that? This one's not changing at all. Okay. I just can't substitute another color for it unless I do it across the board, and you're going to have his shoulder and the wall and everything. Everything's going to look that color, but white might work. We can do a poll for white or green. The green makes the key lime pie make sense in the picture. It does, and one of the problems actually of doing this live is I can't have my face on the screen like it is right here in the corner, and put your chat on the screen and do the keying at the same time. My hardware is limited to 2, so I'd have to either get rid of my face, get rid of your chat, or get rid of the keying, because I can only do 2 at a time. because it's hardware based. Leave the green. I don't mind. Yeah, we'll probably leave it. We'll probably leave it. It was worth a try. I thought I'd share it with you on a day that, since we don't have court, I'd show you what I was working with. Face it is. Adam's like, get rid of the face. Get rid of the face. Try searching for a sail shade image instead of a tarp. Might be able to fit better over the trailer. Sail shade image? Now, the image we're talking about here is this one right here. This was the initial, right? This is how it started. Day one, and then we went from there to, let's see, why did it not? Let me find the other one. Okay, yeah, we've got the update. Just one second. Share, download, compress file, PNG, go. And somebody had said the other day that I need a parrot on the shoulder of the pirate. Let me see if I can show you the picture first, and you guys tell me if we need to actually do that. But okay, here's the new picture. So it's changed a lot. This little the pirate that's peeking out from around the back of the camper, around the back of the tree. If I need a parrot on his shoulder, we can try that. What happened to talk? What happened to talk the stuff? It's not a trailer. It's a Volkswagen. It should be a trailer. It's like a camper trailer. It only has a single wheel. If I move the picture out, you'd see it has a single wheel. Need steps instead of a ladder. I don't know how that would work, though. That's going to cover up a lot. Let's see. We've got the crack already on the tree trunk. Just got a Lego parrot from Santa. Let me see what parrots are available. Let's see. Let's bring this over. Okay, we're going to go to 3 here real quick. Okay, can you see our screen now? Our editing screen? Okay, so the parrots we have, we need a cartoon type parrot. This one looks tempting. Ooh, this guy might be perfect. Check this out. Because he's facing away. Well, we need to move him out from behind there. He's facing away, but he's still like, because he's facing away, we can have like the parrot right there. Let's see how that looks. Is that too big? I think that's good. There. Okay, we've got the parrot. Parrot's going to stick. We're not going to make a lot of changes to this. We're just going to add to it when we have new things that come out in trial that are important to add. See, OG Sean White says Recovery Addict, tomorrow is a busy day with Murdaugh hearing and Boone. Yes, it is. The Murdaugh hearing has to do with Becky, I believe, right? We'll see how that goes. If it actually goes to a trial or a retrial, I think we might be interested in looking at that. But only because I'm very close and I might have to go down to South Carolina with the way the judge is controlling things. Buffer chat. Chat is now on. Thank you, Thomas. We run chat to where it belongs, though. Key 4, run to A. There we go. All right. And now I want rum. Plain blue flag to represent the tarp. Let's see, where's our... Let's do blue sail. How about that? Something like this. We could attach this in the corner. What do you think about that? Is that... Do you want up in the tree? Let's send this back a couple layers and see how this looks. Move it over a bit. Has to be behind the tape. Let's see, where's a good spot for it? What if we made it a little bit transparent? Because that can be... Okay, I'm struggling. Where does the tarp go? Hope always says, will you please consider covering the Carrie Reed case with possible police cover-up here in Massachusetts starting 3/12? Hope always. The problem is our good friend, Brandy Churchwell, has done a ton of work on this case, with even having a podcast covering all sorts of details over there. We really support Brandy, and I'd love for her to... for you to follow it there. She does a very similar. She has a very similar audience to what we do. A lot of crossover between the two, and she's going to be covering that one. We try not to cover the same case, just because it's. I don't want to do the same thing all the time. I want to give people options. Honestly, I mean, there's some people who don't want to see a police corruption case. There's some people who do, and I think on this one I'll be watching a different trial during that time. It's a great case. I mean, I'm going to stay interested in it. It's just we try to do different options. Let's see. This might be a little much, Cass. Let's see. The tarp goes. Let's see. The tarp goes in the dumpster. Don't have a dumpster really. We could put it down here. Like on the bottom, because it's covering up there's actually like a little picnic table thing out there. So we put it like this. Attach the tarp. How's that? Is that an okay version of the tarp? Tarp into or cover the tree. I'm going to keep that one there for right now, and let's try this, because that might be our finishing spot. But if we put it on the ground like this, Could be like the sail on the ship. Blends with the sky too much. Can you guys hear Mrs. Aria in the background? Just curious. Let's go more blue. Brighter blue, right? All right, there's our blue tarp for now. We're just going to keep it down there on the bottom. You might move it around. Anywhere on the roof looks fine. Does it blend in too much now? Send this back a layer. There we go. There's our blue tarp. All right, final location right there. All right, let's see. Nosy's not having it with that tarp. I'm missing it. Tarp is a no-go for me. If we keep it small up there on the roof, that might work. A little bigger. All right. There's our final answer right there. Get the corners anchored down. All right. There we go. All right. I can't change the flag, unfortunately. The flag is part of a larger picture where I can't remove it. It's actually part of the tree and everything. So I would need to cover up the tree with something else. Nice. I'm sorry. That's where we are. All right. Enough of that. Yes, looks like a Florida roof now to me. Yes, all roofs in Florida have tarps at one point or another after a storm. North Carolina as well. I actually need to go out in my yard and pick up all the shingles that are on my ground, because we lost quite a few shingles in the last storm. Yeah, I try not to think about what they'll think about what we were doing at this time. They're like, it just doesn't make sense. We just can't figure out. They must have been drunk. That's going to be their assumption. The tarps on the roof, by the way, in Florida, the tarping is a real thing after a hurricane. If there's roof damage, you need to tarp the roof to prevent more rain from getting in. I've worked with crisis cleanup enough to know that's one of the big things to do after a hurricane. It's get a tarp on the roof. A Pensacola man was launched into a garbage truck. Weird. Can we watch live Iceland volcano eruption? I don't know who's providing that feed or how it's coming through. I know that they've had a lot of. I think they had a new fissure open up, or fissure. Is it fissure or fissure? Let's see. See, Wall Street Journal has a feed. Reuters has, okay, so Reuters, we would not be able to share that. They charge a fortune for their video. What's amazing about the volcano in Iceland is how much tourism is going on in the area. Like people are going to go see the volcano and seeing the lava flow. Just bizarre. I mean, you've got a guy throwing a banana into the lava flow.
Til að fá 1000 views á YouTube. Hann farinn.
Just threw a banana into the lava. Sorry. You guys didn't get to see it happen on my screen right here. Now there's forever going to be a banana entombed in rock. But let's see. I'm not seeing any feeds that I can use of the volcano. There are many feeds out there live right now. The weather is nuts. First of all, how are you guys all alive? It has been freezing cold for half the country. Absolutely just bitterly chilly. It's nice how Arya is watching the Icelandic volcano footage without us, says Becca. I was looking for a feed I could use, and the audio came through. Was the banana for scale? Yes, it was. Banana's always for scale. Sean Wilsey is live right now. Who's Sean Wilsey? Let me see. Is he up there? Okay, hold tight. Let's see. I don't know where he's getting his feed from. He's a geologist, by the way. He's assessing the situation of the January 14th eruption in Grindavik, Iceland, with geology professor Sean Wilsey. Drone flight overview of latest data, news and discussion. Oh, it's a remote. He offers a remote drone, so I'm sure he charges for all that. So he wouldn't be able to share his feed live. All right, any good police chases to watch? Not right now. There have been a couple that ended. A couple got away. Some fast ones got away. I'll keep your eye out for that. Below zero here in central Indiana. Frozen nose hole season if you go outside. Alive, but a tree fell on my house and it's covered with a tarp right now. Oh, my goodness. L Diamonds, what if you care, what part of the country are you in? If you care to share, you don't have to, obviously. Extreme cold warning. It's negative 40 degrees cold, sublimation, and dry ice everywhere. That's really cold. It's crazy here in Michigan. Killer temps at -2. Nobody's car is starting. Negative 30 Celsius here in Calgary. What's that convert to? Negative 30 Celsius. I saw somebody up in Canada do the ramen noodle test. If you haven't seen that, they take a bowl full of like fresh boiling hot ramen noodles, and they take a fork and take a scoop of the noodles, and they set the bowl in the snow, and then they put the fork, like they weigh it down on something tall, so it's just like being held in position as if you were taking a scoop of noodles out of there, and it like froze solid in 20 minutes. So they could pick up the bowl, and the fork was like floating with the noodles in the air. It was really, really, really chilly. Let's see. Live from Iceland has multi-stream going, including Quake monitors. Let me see if I can show you this. So this is. Let me get this off the screen. I'm covering up all the good stuff. That is live from Iceland on YouTube. They've got, looks like 3 cameras, one on the actual eruption, and one a wide view, one, I don't know. They've got a couple different locations, and then a map with the lava flow in the corner, as well as the quakes in the last hour. Because oftentimes earthquake eruptions and earthquakes and eruptions go hand in hand. So a lot of times, but crazy in Iceland. Everyone's only going to look at camera 3, right? But if something happens on the wider picture, they'll want to see what happened there. Don't aim me right, but it's 48 right now in Hammond, Louisiana, but 25 tonight. I'm in the same boat, really. I went outside already today, just shorts and t-shirt, because it's 51 degrees here, and it's going to get all the way down to 39 degrees tonight. But we have rain coming. Nosy Rosie said, I had my first cup of Stevens hot chocolate, and it was amazing. Not sure if that it is amazing or just because you told us it's amazing and we believe you. It's that amazing. It's that good. We actually made some this morning. My wife made a big pot of it. She has a hot chocolate machine. If you guys don't know, it looks like a mix between a blender, like a food processor blender, and one of those little spout dispenser things, little drink dispenser. And it has a hot plate on the bottom and a mixer. It's made just for hot chocolate. But you just add water and you add that, you hit the button and it stirs and the hot plate heats up, and then you can dispense it at the perfect temperature. It's amazing. But they're the worst designed machines in the history of the world. They leak like crazy. The hot plate burns very easily and will ruin anything you put in there. So you have to be very careful with it. I think we've gone through about 6 of them in our marriage because we like them, but they don't last very long. They're usually from like Bed Bath & Beyond or something like that sells them. Does it froth it? Yes, it's got the mixer. It'll froth it for dispensing. It does everything. Love my hot chocolate machine. Look up how to make frozen bubbles. It's cold enough for people to try it. Dawn dish soap in the winter, right? You just blow the bubble and it just freezes and falls to the ground. Melissa, I went to the store and I bought a whole set of O-rings to replace the O-rings to fix the leaks. Have you seen the Bobcat driver that attacked the police cruiser in a Home Depot in Lincoln, Nebraska, just down the road? I watched that video this morning. I'm surprised. How did it end? Because I'm surprised the police officer didn't take more drastic action. Judy, if you want the hot chocolate link, I'll give it to you. Just 1 second. Let me pull it up here. Let's see, 4 pounds. That's the one. Why is 4 pounds half the price of a 1 pound? Okay, so here we go. Text. Copy. Here we go. So this is the hot cocoa. Here you go, Judy. Links in chat. Obviously, if you don't have Amazon Prime, it's not very cheap, but that's about the cheapest I've been able to find it online. Is the hot chocolate from Costco? I saw a link on the Facebook page just now. Costco sometimes carries it, but they do also switch around different brands sometimes. Finally scored some spicy maple bourbon pickles. Called your name out in my Pickles Anonymous meeting this morning. That's great. Can you make it a link? I probably could. Okay. I need the fastest flight to Costa Rica. Is it warmer down there right now? I imagine it is. Okay, so here's what we wanted to do. I wanted to meet this morning and just say good morning, hello, and welcome. And hope you guys are having a fantastic day off. And just let you know, tomorrow the trial starts with the Treehouse trial. It starts up again. It's going to be incredibly spicy because we have witnesses that are co-conspirators. We have still witnesses that are victims that are coming up that are testifying for the defense. We've got a lot coming up that is it's going to be very, very interesting in this case. Do you see the police chase where the police hit the car they're pursuing and caused it to hit a pedestrian? Abina, I did not see that one. That is the worst case scenario. They're supposed to only do pit maneuvers if they're in a safe environment, unless you're in Arkansas, and then you do it whenever you want. Saw that chocolate in store here, but I don't remember which store, either Fred Meyer or Safeway. Probably Safeway, I'm guessing. Usually it comes in a 1-pound container when you find it in the local stores. Let's see, the houses were burning yesterday. It was a long night watching the Packers pound Dallas. Ivan, hopefully your store is still celebrating and you're doing, booming business. See, I like to fill balloons with colored water, freeze them outside, peel off balloon, and make cool colored ice spheres. That sounds cool. I've seen somebody do like a water balloon with ice inside where they have like many layers of water balloons inside each other. And so you just cut one, like make a little cut on the balloon, and it just instantly changes color as it goes through each layer of the balloon. Purple Haze says, you missed my 6-month. Oh no, Purple Haze, hang on. Scrolling. It's way gone. Let's see. Let me see if I can re-trigger it. Apologize, Purple Haze. Let's see what I can do here. Alerts. Nope. Purple Haze, I can see that you sent a super chat. Let's see. I can't see the 6-month one. It's gone off my screen. I apologize. Congratulations, Purple Haze, on 6 months. Thank you very much. Send a message. I'll try to read it here. Karen Reese gifted a membership, and that one went to Candy. Congratulations, Candy. Ivan is celebrating, for those that don't know. He's a big. He follows Packers tennis very closely, and the Packers beat the Cowboys in tennis over the weekend.
Super sticker with 4.
Little B, thank you very much. No, I gave him a hard time when Ivan texted me and said, "Hey, the Packers just beat Cowboys," and I replied and said, "That's cool, but I don't follow tennis," and he didn't bite at my little poke.
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won.
Just order the dark chocolate for a coffee additive. I bet that would. I mean, that's probably. I think you're gonna like it. Let's put it that way. The dark chocolates are really good as well. Is it true that Cher is opening for Hurman tomorrow with a few jazz sets at Riverhead? Paul, I wouldn't know, but sounds cool. Are you going? Are you going to be watching, listening? Packers didn't just beat the Cowboys; they destroyed them. I heard it was very one-sided, and the score was pretty slanted in one direction. Ivan says, I was born in Wisconsin. You have no choice on who you root for. Oh, let's see. It was 5 days ago. I'm just bringing it up now. I'm just kidding, though. Purple Haze, I can tell you 3 days ago you sent a super chat as well. I went that far back looking for it. But let me put it back on the screen here. I'm not celebrating. My Cleveland Browns got pummeled. Well, let's see. I know the Super Bowl's coming up, and maybe Ivan's going to... I imagine if the Packers go to the Super Bowl, Ivan's going to let us know. Red Pen says, 1 year already? I can't believe it's been a year. I'm so proud to be part of this community. You rock my world. Y'all rock my world. That's a y'all. You spelled y'all wrong. right here, there just should be an apostrophe. I've learned that living in North Carolina. Sports ball go team, says Ippy Fluffy. My kids are incredibly jealous of anywhere that it's snowing right now. So we've got family members all across the country, and they see pictures of snow outside, and they're like, oh, and they get the tears in the eye. I wish it snowed here. They don't really mean that. Yesterday I was watching. I was on the Twitter feed, and Ryan Holyall tweeted out, "Get the bread and milk" on a tweet in all caps with claps between them, because apparently the whole country does this. And I thought it was just a North Carolina thing, but when a big storm is coming, you buy all the bread and milk in the store, and toilet paper and beer. Send a link to the burner phone, Avina. I will take a look at that. That's I want to see where that chase happened. Wow, I just got a whole bunch of texts. Let's see, Big Mike got 6 inches of snow in Tennessee. Whew. Link to the car chase. Let's see, this was... Oh, I don't know if I can show that. Oh my goodness. Pedestrian struck during California police pursuit. And they caught up with the pedestrian. That is... Yeah, she should be getting a check from the police department here soon. Oh my goodness. I can't show it. It's one of those you have to zoom out for things. But she was able to get up and walk away, which was incredible. Nancy D says, I sent my 4-month, but never yet seen. I guess I don't chat enough. Nancy, I'm so sorry. Let's see. I saw red pens. Karen Reese. I'm not sure why these aren't popping up on my screen. People are saying they're sending messages and not appearing. I did just update my Lumia stream. I wonder if it's handling those differently. She refused medical care, walked a mile plus home, now has broken ribs and other medical stuff. Man.
Have them send someone with more experience.
Let's see. They let her walk away. Can you send us the link? I can post the link. I can do that. Let me do that. Squirrel. Okay, just 1 second. We've got to get to my stream. Yeah, it's a long way to go just to see my channel. Okay, let's post here. Okay, so I'm posting in chat right now a link. Do you want to right-click and say open in a new window or watch this? Here's the link. This is the video of a pedestrian getting hit in a police chase. So it's just that portion. It's just the very end. It's very quick. You watch it and you're like, oh, I didn't want to watch that. It's not too bad to watch. It's a helicopter view. Okay, so it's top-down view of a pit maneuver. The pedestrian is in the down swing area of the car they hit. But it's pretty not good. Yeah, it's possible that her refusing medical care was more out of her fear that she would be arrested for something, whether it was her legal status, whether it was something she was in possession of at the time. People in shock aren't rational. Yeah, a lot of people, the adrenaline, you don't feel the pain, you don't feel the injury for quite a while. You might be walking on a broken, appendage and not know it because of adrenaline. Kenny says, I also sent a 4-month. That wasn't seen. It was while you were editing the thumbnail. Oh, I was not viewing it. I apologize for overlooking those. I get caught up in what I'm seeing, and it's no good. Let me see if I can see any of those. They used to show me what those messages were. Let's see, event list.
Squirrel.
Got the triggers, all the logs, no items in the queue. I don't know why I can't see these. It's showing me people who subscribe, people who send super chats, people who send super stickers, but I'm not seeing the rest. Over here, I have to fix something. YouTube super sticker. Disable text to speech. Okay. So super stickers are not going to interrupt with the voice anymore. That was a choice we made a little while ago. I just hadn't fixed it. But, okay. There we go. I apologize. Let's see. Little B, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate that. Love it. Karen Reese gifted a membership as well. Thank you, Karen. I missed 1 month. I missed your 1 month membership. My 1 year membership. KH in South Carolina. I am so sorry. Oh my goodness. I need to do better at doing this. I need to not work on graphics during chat. Okay, red pen. We got red pens. I'm trying to pay closer attention here if something pops up. Let's see. And Nancy, it shouldn't be that you need to chat a lot to be seen. I should catch all of those. This is my fault, not yours, and I'm sorry for that. Let's see, it's -4 with a real feel of -24 in Wisconsin right now. That is why I am not in Wisconsin. The girl with the animals. That is too cold. Unless you're going ice fishing, and then it's perfect. We did a Kansas City. Is KC a Kansas City RA meetup? Switch from top chat over to live chat. I am in live chat. I'd make that change constantly. Zero in Green Bay, -10 in Kenosha. All right, when our post shows up and you read them, it's like hitting the lottery. Buttercup said you need to do better. Rough. This says bite me. I do need to do better. I apologize. There's a lot of posts. I'm not making excuses, but there's a lot. If I clicked on every single one as fast as they come up on the screen, I would not be able to read them that fast. Jamie A., happy birthday yesterday. We did sing happy birthday to Kurt and to Martin Luther King Jr., whose birthday is today. A couple more people as well. I don't remember off the top of my head. I would drive 3 hours to see RA and get Brahms ice cream. I'd drive for the ice cream. You can leave me out of it. Tell me more about the ice cream, Eddie. We can meet at Sam's Club in KC. And hot chocolate for everybody. Remember the good old days when we could do a roll call? We've done one within the last month. We did a roll call. We might have to do that again. We might have to say, like, the first.
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who won.
Why did it cut it out? What did it say? I don't know who won. Grr. Hold tight. I fixed that once already. Did I not? Let's go back to alerts. Commands. Chat commands, roach. We're going to test that again. Ready?
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won.
That was the whole thing. That was it. It did sound like it cut off a little early on the other one.
Squirrel!
Planet for May in KC. What else is in KC? I mean, do we have a trial in KC that we can look at? Is anything coming up that you guys know of? Deseret Bookstore also sells Stevens Hot Chocolate, and you can get their other flavors too. They do ship. Probably the 1 pound size, I'm guessing. I remember roll call. Way too many people now, which is great for the channel. The video was intense, Babs. Yeah. That's a pit maneuver in the middle of a busy intersection. Hannah, I'm here. There's some decent food in KC. Nothing coming up that you've heard of. If there's a big trial somewhere that I'm going to be attending, of course I'll tell you I'm going to be there. The temperature in the desert of Arizona right now, I'll keep to myself. Is it nice? Once again, ask for the man bun emoji. Adam, we got rid of the man bun emoji for something else. Costco sells even extra large Stevens Cocoa, and they ship. Alita, this is true. If you're a member of Costco, or if you know someone who's a member, they can ship it to you, and that's probably the cheapest way to get it. 3 guys found dead in the backyard north of KC. Let's see. Updates on the Maya case. I'll tell you what's coming up next. The judge basically has a week before he was, had the tentative plan of when he was going to take action again. Let's take a quick look down there and see if something's coming up. Let's see, where were we? Sarasota County. There's ClerkNet 3.0. Got my login. Do a search. Do you guys remember the court case number? 2018 CA 005312 or 321 NC. That was the case. So they've got a hearing scheduled for the 22nd, which is in 1 week. For motions. It's 11:30 a.m. Courtroom 7C.
Alex solid as well.
Oh, wait, no. Wait. I'm telling you the wrong thing. That was the very first one.
Is that correct?
That was 2019. We're looking at... There's nothing scheduled. The last one was on the 3rd. So we're waiting for the judge to enter something. We've had a ton of documents.
Someone with more experience.
A ton of exhibits put in the record, but they're sealed. We're talking 130, 194, 220, 301 pages. Just a lot of them. A few that aren't sealed, but let's see. The ones that aren't sealed are... Wait for it to pull up. I think by the 22nd of this month, the judge said he was going to take some action. I'm not sure if we'll get an actual judgment entered or not. Oh, this is the one that's all redacted. It's everything. It's the medical record. It's just page after page after page of redaction. So nothing happened in the Maya trial yet. Let's see.
How does he do that?
I don't know. A Chiefs super fan. Where was this? Stevens hot chocolate, $10.84 at Sam's Club. Is that for £4 or for £1? So I don't think my store has it. My local Sam's Club. Must be online only. Wow. That is a killer deal. That is a really, really, really good deal. Okay. I have to order a couple $100 worth of hot chocolate now. Rob is having Mr. Anderson on Tuesday night, isn't he? I have not heard. Let me check and see if Rob's got something posted. Has he already got a thumbnail for it? Or was it just announced? Let's see. Law and Lumber. He must have just announced it because I'm not seeing it in his upcoming section. Had a Friday Night Frenzy, which was good if you haven't watched that. Did I post the link? I did post the link to the car crash back. That was a while ago. I posted the link for the chocolate as well. Did you? Steven's mint truffle hot chocolate is beyond yummy. Just saying. Justice Obsessed. When my wife went on our trip to Idaho, I think she threw away clothes so she could make room for mint chocolate or mint truffle hot chocolate. Steven's hot cocoa. She shipped that back in her luggage. Could it be the IJ report? I don't think it would be. I don't think those would be in there. I don't think they've turned that over yet. Realize that the last order the judge told the J-Hatch team was to turn over the stuff they didn't think was privileged. And I think they think the IJ report's privileged. I'm surprised J-Hatch didn't file something to mess up the 3-day weekend. I don't know what. I think they got their hand smacked a little bit. They thought they were in a better position than they were. And so now they're sort of waiting and looking at what's coming up. They realize their order of preference, okay? The first preference was for the judge to side with them on juror number 1 and say, juror number 1 obviously threw the whole court case, and so, need new trial. We have to redo this whole thing. That was what they wanted, number 1, to happen. The second thing is for the judge to look at all the other things and grant their motion for a new trial with juror number 1 excluded, as he's already been, excluded from the reasons to get a new trial. If that doesn't happen, the next thing we want remittitor, which is where their judge is going to say, okay, the jury decided against you, but the amounts they chose were too high, and I'm going to knock them down. But the problem is they say the amounts are so high that the amount that the judge legally can knock it down wouldn't even scratch the surface. So they're not a big fan of that either. The last thing that might save them a bit of money is what was talked about on the not this last hearing, but the one before, and that is when they get together and do mediation and might come to an agreement on a number that's different than all those other numbers and probably will be secret. I think mediation will save them more money than remittitor could. But so they might want judge to do remittitor first and then mediation. But I don't think they're going to go to mediation until the judge enters the judgment and that interest is accruing. Rob mentioned on Friday, Friday Night Frenzy. I didn't catch the whole show, Alita, so if he's got that coming up, that would be great. My Sam's has Stevens for $10.84 for £4, free shipping. That is a phenomenal deal. It is really, really good. Dr. Joe said the IJ is privileged, otherwise we would be able to have the IJ ourselves. Let's see, Mathis says, if you're interested in J-Hatch delay tactics, the oral arguments from their first appeal are on YouTube. Nice preview of things to come. Polly says, watch Brandy the other day. Said I was there after your glowing recommendation. Everyone was so nice and funny when the bot yelled at me. Yes, Brandy is amazing. My heart goes out to her. She's going through some very, very difficult things health-wise. And on top of that, there are just some people who I believe have no soul or heart that are attacking her as well for sharing information about her health struggles, which are serious and literally life-threatening. And people are mocking her questioning and not believing what she's going through. It's like she has details that she hasn't shared with everybody, that her life is more difficult than most of us could imagine. Just her day-to-day living. Okay. The what she has to deal with, it's not like the rest of us. She doesn't have the ability to do a lot of the things that others are able to do. And she's been keeping that quiet and to herself, and just I wish people would just be nice. Just be nice. That's it. Okay, well, where's your head at with the treehouse after this weekend? I'm leaning not guilty. Okay, Vicky Mac, this is a great question. Vicky Mac Callum. The treehouse trial, we have not yet gotten to any of what I would call the fingering evidence, where they point the finger of blame at the defendant. We've got some people that talked about the crime scene, about the injuries, about the layout of the treehouse, about who was where, but the actual guilt portion to say that this man is responsible has not come in yet to any large degree. So I would say right now, as a member of the jury, yes, he's also, in my mind, he's quite not guilty. He is innocent unless proven guilty, and so he has not been proven guilty. I say he's innocent right now. I question his decision to represent himself in a murder trial. That seems crazy to me. I'll put that out there. But he also has proven that he has he's smart. He's very educated as far as, he's knowledgeable. He can learn. You see him up questioning witnesses and for a lengthy period of time in a rational manner, thoughtfully working through one thing after another with virtually no notes. So he's got some ability there, but I still think it would be better to have a lawyer. Corey says, just order the hot chocolate from Sam's. Thank you. That's a great price. Let's see. I agree. I haven't seen anything to prove him guilty yet. I imagine we'll see some, Connie. That it's hard to get to this point in the trial without having some evidence that would point the finger of blame at him. I think the most damaging evidence we've heard so far have been his own admissions in response to what we've heard from the stand about him talking, like the little things where he's like, I don't remember seeing you there that night type thing, that basically put him in the scene. He's got a couple of those comments where he's not admitting guilt as far as the crime's concerned, but he's placed himself there, which is one of the first things we need to find guilt. Crafty Grandma says, I watch Brandy and like her a lot. We also watch Brandy and like her a lot. I think Tucker is doing not too bad at self-reception. Tom, you're right. He is not doing too bad, but there is a lot that goes on in a murder trial, and there's a lot of the part I'm concerned about is what we saw on day 2. What we saw, Friday. Okay, we had Tucker cross-examining a witness, presenting evidence that had not been shown to the defense in discovery. Little things like that could get that evidence thrown out and not admissible in court. And so if you don't know the process of how to get evidence in and shown to the other side in an appropriate and timely manner, they could file a motion and the judge could exclude it. And suddenly your best evidence, your exculpatory evidence, is not admissible in court. This is something that a lawyer would know about, that a lawyer would understand the process of discovery and how that has to play out, that he is not as familiar with. So he might have the best mind and everything that way, but if he doesn't have that legal training and knowledge, even down to how this particular court functions and the rules that this court follows and abides by, he's at a severe disadvantage. Let's see. Kurt's covering this now from the beginning. That's great. He's going to do a great job with that. Didn't two witnesses point finger at him? I believe they did. We have not heard from those witnesses yet, though, Joe. So I believe we are told that that's going to happen. We haven't seen them. But remember, one of the surviving victim, Paula, who got cut on the neck in this initial robbery, she is on the schedule to be called as his witness, as a defense witness, and she's saying it wasn't him. So you've got two druggies that are pointing the finger at somebody else. You could only help them by doing that. He has counsel he's talking to. Jenny, it's standby counsel, and just in watching the trial, it's not a lot of communication during the trial. Maybe it's between trials, maybe it's on breaks, maybe it's in the mornings, maybe it's on weekends. I don't know, because I realize he's out on bond. He's not in custody. But it does seem that a lot of things are going on. I mean, how do you get to the point of presenting evidence that hasn't been shown to the defense in a cross-examination? If you've got counsel who's helping you with every step of the way. Tucker's opening, Polly. Tucker's opening in this was basically he was saying, yes, there is some evidence, but look at everything else that says I wasn't. So he's got an interesting angle. And some of it I can see, and some of it I don't agree with, because he presented the same argument that Darrell Brooks presented, where he's challenging the way, the method the police used to reach his name as a suspect. Okay, so he's challenging, saying, "Hey, you didn't follow the process right," and in some ways, if it's a legal thing, he might have grounds to raise that, and it could be excluded from court. Like if it was if they searched his property, searched his house without a warrant, and then found some evidence that would implicate him. That evidence was fruit of the poisonous tree, and he could get it excluded. But where he says you didn't know it was me until these people told you it was me. So why would you charge me? That doesn't work as well. That's not a legal thing they have to follow. They have to, of their own volition, just come to his name through their own sleuthing without anyone else telling them who it is. So that's part that he's been pushing and fighting really hard on, and honestly getting some pushback from the judge and the defense, or the prosecution, because he's asking this question over and over and trying to get at it from a different angle, because he's very frustrated with how two people basically ratted on him or pointed the finger of blame at him for the police, when the police, if they hadn't done that, had no way of knowing it was him, have no way of knowing he was involved if he was at any time, because this is all alleged right now. So he's frustrated with that process, and he's like, you believed these two guys, but in another situation, somebody said this person was involved and you didn't do anything to them. So why did you arrest me and not them? So he's looking at it from a that's not fair standpoint, but that's not what the court cares about. And the judge has tried to explain this, and he's tried to say, it's the evidence itself that we're measuring here, not the process of how they came to the evidence, unless you can prove that it was done illegally. Really, the court doesn't care. So let's see. Where did the CrossFit lady come from? Anyone know? Do you know? I don't know how they met. I knew they did meet, and she provided the bail money and possibly some of his legal expense, paid for some of his legal expense, but now that's not there. And so he's on his own. He doesn't have the funds to pay for private counsel. Rainbow Rising says his questions has been questioned by the court TV. Having money, he should have hired a lawyer. He doesn't understand how he can be seen as a suspect from just the video. Barbara Farthing, I'm a big fan of the milk chocolate. Dark chocolate is also good. I mean, I like it, but I prefer milk over dark. Let's see. Lil Miss, I think Brandy is trying to let this die out. She's answered it and she wants it to just go away. So I think she's not providing that information as to who's doing it. I mean, if it continues, she might name them, but she's trying to take the high road on this and just let it go away. Connie Munster said, did some research on the Treehouse case, and it seems like there was a ton of police flubbing the investigation and police cover up with the witness that went on. Connie, we got to that a little bit on Friday, where we had the detective, the lady who was the detective, and it was, I think she was near tears on the stand, but basically she didn't do things right policy-wise. She didn't handle investigations following the protocol that they should. And I'm not sure if this goes to the point of making her work product inadmissible in court, but it was enough that her boss gave her a letter of recommendation with that letter saying, we recommend you're not a detective anymore, and that you just be a patrol officer. And she said, I'd rather just give up my badge completely, and took a position that was not a badge position. Okay. Good morning, Sandra. Good to have you here. Vicky says, I don't feel sorry for it at all. People's lives are on the line. That's awful. Now, Vicky, here's the thing. I'm not sure. See, we haven't heard the evidence that says what she did wrong. She's not fabricating, to my knowledge. She's not fabricating evidence. She's not creating something out of nothing and planting evidence and things like that. I believe it was more, you're supposed to file this report after you gather the evidence and you didn't, or you're supposed to turn it over in this manner or with this many days, or it was a procedural handling that is best practice to do this method, and she did not do that. She fell short of that and consistently fell short of that. And so that's what it was. I don't think in and of itself, at least that I've heard, I don't think it makes the evidence itself inadmissible. Let's see. Check your phone. Thank you, Rebecca. I'll pass that on. I know Brandy has a great support group as well, though. She's surrounded with some good friends and some family. Connie says, I think it's way worse than that. If it is, we need to get that out. I'll tell you, my concern right now with Mr. Tucker's defense is that he is thinking that he's going to have an opportunity to do some things that he might not have. Specifically, every witness that's sat on the stand so far, some of them he's had some big issues with and had some problems with that he may need to address that he hasn't yet. Specifically, this detective, he didn't go into all the areas of how the evidence was improperly handled or collected. But he's got this hanging out there thinking that he's got that coming up, and he's released the witness. She's not under subpoena anymore. She's free to go. So unless he's subpoenaed her or sent her a subpoena, I don't know how he's going to handle that situation. How is he going to bring that information out that the evidence itself may be tainted because of how it was handled or processed if he doesn't have a witness that he can question her against and have her testify and admit that something was done improperly? Because I don't think he's got that with her testimony yet. See, Tucker and the CrossFit lady knew each other when they were younger. That's where they first met each other. I hear there was meaningful mishandling. I would expect to hear it. If there was meaningful mishandling, I would expect to hear it explored in detail. Mathis, I think he's alleging that there is, but he hasn't had the questions yet with the witness. And I don't know who else. If you can't bring it up with the witness who collected the evidence, how are you going to bring this in, right? How are you going to bring in that there was something improperly done in the evidence room? The detective improperly, bypassed. I'm making something up here. I'm just setting an example. The detective bypassed the check-in process for evidence, and herself just walked into the evidence room and just stuck stuff where she wanted and didn't file records. If something like that happened, how are you going to get that in? Are you going to call the evidence person? There has to be some point where you admit the allegation, or you admit that bit of information so it can be presented before the jury, because the jury has to hear this. And in some cases, I guess the judge could hear it and then rule on its inadmissibility. But you can't just say, I've got these allegations that she did wrong, and she didn't admit to it, but we're going to move on. The allegations are gone now. There's nothing before the jury telling them there's a problem with this evidence. Now, I realize she did get impeached, but the judge sort of shut that down and didn't let it go too much further, because he seemed to be digging at the same point instead of expanding to other areas. Ivan says, if I'm charged with murder, is Recovery Addict putting up my bail because we know each other? That's wild to me. Ivan, we probably are never getting married. I hate to break this to you, but the two of us, I don't see matrimony in our future with each other. So I'm sorry if you had hopes in that direction. I did not. But I believe those two did get married. So that makes it a little different, or at least we're a couple. We're looking at the case we were covering, the Treehouse case. Yes, we are. We're just talking a little bit about that. We've got a couple days. It starts again tomorrow morning. Let's see. I want to know what was squashed under the gag order in this case. I'll be interested in seeing if the defendant has subpoenaed the person who wrote this report to talk about it. That's what I'm most worried about. I mean, he can stand up and argue. He can be eloquent with his words, and he can even question fairly well. But the legal process of bringing some stuff up into court is where he's the weakest, where he doesn't have the experience. I'll save my call then, says Ivan. But if you get married, you cannot testify one against one another. Yeah, you've got that spousal privilege. Let's see, Becca Lynn. Gag order was just let up. In which trial are we talking about? Waiting on permission to share. Let's say this. It's been an unfortunate development today. Let me put this in right here. I'm just speaking generally. I am interested after the case is over, to speaking with people who may be involved, but only if that does not cause problems with any appeal or things like that. I'm not trying. I would rather not get the interview than cause a problem for somebody and possibly help contribute to a worsening of their situation or somebody else's. But after the case is over, I may be interested in that. Unless someone did something unspeakable to my kids, I can never. So let's know if you're guilty. I'm not. Ivan. So I can't recall a witness. He can't recall a witness and bring up new testimony. He would need to subpoena them himself for new evidence. Am I correct? Crystal, because he's excused the witness, the judge asked him, is this witness okay to release? And he said yes to every witness so far. They're gone. They're out of the case. They have no future anything involved in this case. If they were under subpoena, the judge would have said, the state's released you, but you remain under subpoena by defense, so don't talk to anyone, right? But they haven't. So these people are now out talking to each other. That presents a problem if they're allowed to go out and talk and watch the case and listen, and then now suddenly they get subpoenaed again. And now you've got the rule has been invoked, but that individual who's testifying has now listened to other people's testimony or talked to people about the case that they wouldn't have been allowed had they remained under subpoena the whole time. So I guess in theory, it's possible for him to re-subpoena at this point and get people back on that witness list and get them, back under that sequestration order. You guys are funny. Is the treehouse being named a historical landmark? No, the treehouse has been torn down, actually. It's no longer there. The neighborhood's getting cleaned up a little bit, as we heard from one of the witnesses, the neighbor across the street who owns the boat shop. I don't know what he calls it, but that's what we're going to refer to it as. He works on outboard motors, but he says it's getting better. Check my chat from a couple minutes ago, Deanne. Let's see. I wish there was a way I could actually search for individual people's chat instead of scroll through lots. Let's see. Somebody's at my back door, opening and closing it. It's probably the cats.
When are we going to break for lunch, Judge?
Vinny did a piece on the Treehouse trial, but his thumbnail sucked. Thanks, Phil. I'm not seeing where your chat was. Oh, they're at the front door. Man, they're moving through my house pretty quick. I've scrolled all the way back to the top, and I did not see it. Can you retype it and tag me, flag me in it? Flag me like, say, Recovery Addict. I would like to talk about a case that my family is involved in. It's a civil trial, and we're the plaintiffs. It's a case like no other. Angela, I'd love to hear about it. Especially if you have legal representation, I would mention to them that you'd like to share it. Some of those cases, there are some things that are best not divulged publicly, even though legally you probably could. So I would follow the advice of your attorneys in that case. But if you want to share it with me, I'd be interested in talking to you. Okay, hang on. I've got to get my kids to stop doing this. It's driving me nuts. Okay, we got it fixed. It's going to be quieter now. Let's see, grandparents live in Rock Island, Illinois. They got about a foot of snow. I'm glad they now live in a retirement home because my grandpa is 96, has a broken neck, and he still try to shovel the snow. That's no good. Yeah, you need somebody younger, more spry, who will bounce back from throwing snow. See, will we be back after lunch? I think we're probably just gonna break after lunch and let you guys have a fun day. We don't have anything terribly interesting to cover right now. I don't even have my remote, so I can't even check. Let's see. I'll share what I can when I can, but I'm waiting to hear back on development happening today regarding the Treehouse trial. Yeah, I'd love to hear what the developments are. I probably would not want to interview anyone involved in the case until after it's over. And Michelle, yeah, I got the text. I got the text. I just didn't respond directly. I sort of responded generally. Sent a quick story about the Chiefs fan bank robber to the burner. Are you saying, painting this brush on all the Chiefs fans? Trial delayed for Chiefs-aholic, Chiefs superfan accused of robbing several banks. Xavier Michael Babadar, he's a superfan accused of robbing banks across multiple states. Eight different states. It's a 19-count indictment filed in August He's Chiefsaholic. Bank robberies and money laundering attempts via casinos. Is he wearing a big bad wolf outfit? Is that what he's wearing here in this? Let's see. Clive, Ohio, Great Western Bank, allegedly robbed by him. Omaha, Nebraska, First National Bank, 170,000 there. 70 out of the first one. Let's see. Opens the vault in West Des Moines, Iowa, at First Class Community Credit Union. Got 303,000 there. Allegedly, then in November, gets 126,000 from Nashville, Tennessee branch of Tennessee Credit Union. So he's got 3 counts of armed bank robbery, 1 count of bank theft, 11 counts of money laundering, 4 counts of transporting stolen property across state lines. Pretrial in April. This might be a fun one to watch. Is he going to fight it all the way? I think they're taking a little extra time.
How does he do that?
Let's see. Hang on just one second. Let's see. Have you gone on Google Maps and checked out the neighborhood where the treehouse is? Crazy. We have not. We saw it in the court. Let's see. Yeah, Joe. Brandy's got some health concerns she's working through. It's not mine to share. It's not mine to share, and she's shared some. I'd recommend that you look at some of her live streams to review that. I don't want to put words in her mouth or say more than she would want said. Let's see. Angela, hope everything gets resolved favorably for you, and then I'd love to hear about it. Let's see. He's addicted to Chiefsaholic. Chiefsaholic. Basically, Steven says, where there was a Chiefs game, there was a bank robbery on the way to it in that city. Well, Steve, concessions are not cheap. Okay, you try to get a chili dog and a large Coke at a Chiefs game, and you almost need to take out a mortgage before you do it. It's expensive, and so I guess he found, instead of taking out a mortgage, why not just go to the place that would give you money if you did get a mortgage and just take their money. I think that was maybe his premise, allegedly. Okay, let's see. Isabella, I'm sorry you're having internet issues. Hopefully they get resolved shortly. Yeah, 303,000 red pen. Woohoo! That's not something you want to celebrate. That's not something you really want to celebrate. That happened in my town, Bixby, Oklahoma. Have you heard about DB Tuber case? It's an old case, but it's so unbelievable. Which one is that? I'm looking at Daryl Brooks, DB, or actually his name is DB. Is that the guy that robbed the bank and jumped out of the plane with the money and they never found him or the money? He jumped out of an airliner with a parachute. I'm curious where the door of the Alaska Airlines plane is. The one that took off and was going up and the door blew out. Where did that door land? Does somebody have an Alaska Airlines exit door in their backyard now? DB Cooper. Oh, they found it. They found it. Someone called Bob. They found the door. I think DB Cooper died and the lore kept it alive. Well, if he died, he died, landed on a bag of money. So somewhere out there, there's, what? I don't know how much money he had. It would be quite a bit. Yes, it was in someone's backyard. They found it on a farm. It's like, yeah, I just hit a jet plane door with my tractor on the farm. So that's not right. In a teacher's yard, door was found and picked up. Was it put on eBay first? Speaking of eBay, we've got a story and a half. We'll probably share it on our podcast, but we've got a fun story for eBay. I thought they found in a teacher's front lawn the plane door. I imagine it just landed and like embedded itself, in the door, vertically, so it was upright, and the person who saw it was just like, I have so many questions. Oh no, lost some skydivers in Arizona in a hot air balloon accident. I'm sorry. That's no fun. They found it in someone's garden. This is how I think it should always be. I mean, surprisingly, or not surprisingly, pieces fall off planes fairly often, considering how often they should fall off planes, which is 0. But sometimes planes drop all sorts of things that they should not be dropping. D.B. Cooper didn't rob a bank. He hijacked the plane. A few thousand found, most never found. So he hijacked the plane, and then he demanded money, though, right? So he demanded the money, and so the money that he had was not his. They delivered the money, and then and a parachute, and he like jumped out of the plane mid-flight, like cross-country flight, and nobody knows where. Allie B, just search on YouTube Alaska Airlines door. Just search Alaska Airlines door, and you're going to see videos of a plane mid-flight with a hole in the side where the door should be. Luckily, no fatalities, either in the air or on the ground. How does one man hijack a plane? Same way 3 guys with box cutters as pros. Yeah, it's... Yep. Hannah says, Recovery Addict, my husband had a rule for eBay. If something exists in the known universe, sooner or later it will be up for sale on eBay. Hasn't been wrong yet. This is true. This is true, but this story goes even further than that. It's going to blow your mind. It's a funny one. Well, sort of. Nosy Rosie, I'm having right shoulder surgery tomorrow and will be out of chat for a while. Gonna miss chat participation. Nosy Rosie, or Lat Cal Urals, you used to be. I'm sorry. I'm hopefully that the surgery is 100% successful and you bounce back and have full use of your shoulder and everything soon. And we can't wait to have you back in chat. But do rest up. Don't try to talk in chat. If without your shoulder being back to where it should be. They found someone's iPhone that went out the door still working. Was it still filming? They're like, hey guys, check out what just whoosh, oops. And then 2 minutes later, thump. Then a kid in the garden picks it up. Is this thing on? That would be the best video ever. Like the free fall out of the plane. Becca Lynn says, my 2000th skydive was from a hot air balloon. Becca Lynn, I could never skydive. I have a hard enough time getting on a plane that I know has a very high likelihood of landing again safely. I have been up in a hot air balloon. As soon as I was the only hot air balloon that got to launch in this hot air balloon. It was supposed to be a huge festival of hot air balloons. Think like Arizona, all the pictures, a sky full of hot air balloons. That's what it was supposed to be, but it was so windy. We were the only balloon that went up, and I was in it. And of course, it was like just calm enough. We had just barely inflated, and it was took off, and then the winds just picked right back up. Is that a problem? No, other than the fact that we were on an island in the middle of a lake, and we had to land again on that same island. And the winds takes us all over the place. It was bizarre. And I'm up there filming, trying to get video. We crash landed. I'll tell you that. I crashed the only time we were up in a hot air balloon. And by crashed, I mean we landed and tipped over. Adam says I fell off my bed once. Adam, honestly, that was probably more traumatic than crash landing in the hot air balloon. need some water desperately. All right. Had one land in my field. My neighbor let his daughter climb in with this stranger. It went okay. I'll tell you, the thing I love about being in a hot air balloon, which is really cool, is how still it is up there. How, it may be windy, but you're going with the wind. You're moving with the wind. So to you, it feels very, very calm. It's very surreal, just the silence of moving around. And I've heard people describe that if you're up with other balloons, that you can talk to people back and forth. It's really neat, but it's not like you're falling through air and all the wind on your face and stuff. But Angela, why does my messages not show on your screen? They do. They're just it goes fast. Like it will oftentimes, my screen will refresh with more than a page of stuff, and I'll miss more than a page of texts. It's just what happens when there's a lot of people talking. Whatever happened to the boy in the balloon? The balloon boy, was that in Colorado where that happened? That was faked. He was never in the balloon. He was actually hiding up in his attic, and he came out and ratted on his dad and basically said, "My dad told me to hide here." It was all just for publicity. Yes to the Colorado. I was thinking Colorado Springs for some reason. Is that? Have you heard anything about the eBay order? Granny to 13, they're probably not going to hear about it today till tomorrow. I did get your texts. Typically, they don't tell me anything. They just fix it. If you don't see it fixed here shortly, I'll make sure you're made whole. We get this right. So we are definitely going to fix it. You ordered, Granny, you ordered a mug, one of our mugs, the True Crime mugs, and you got someone else's mug that's not a True Crime mug. And I wouldn't want you to have to drink out of that one. So we're trying to get it fixed. It just takes a little bit of time. Up by Boulder, they did a reality show. I think they did Wife Swap too. Oh, wow. Some of these shows are just too much. Okay. Should have seen my first tandem skydive. I was like, I'll go, but I may not jump. I'll pay, but I may not jump. I'll get in, but I may not jump. When I jumped, I stopped breathing. Yeah, I can't do it. I just cannot. I don't even like fast elevators, Becca. Too fast of an elevator is just like, nope, I'd rather take the stairs, all 100 flights.
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won.
I don't know who won. When we landed, the video guy runs up and was like, "How did you like it?" And I say, "I'm never doing that again." And then Becca, 2,000 later, you're still jumping. Hey, Kelly. Looks like you've got some snow in your part of the world. Stay safe and warm. All right, so tomorrow we have some fun. We have some fun back with the Treehouse trial. Assuming everything keeps going, there might be some news. Becca says there might be some news coming on that one. But let's see. I would so send you a picture of my puppy right now, and the way he's sleeping, he's on his bed with his upper half on the floor and his bottom half in the bed. Upside down, feet up. Yeah, I've seen a couple pictures of pets that sleep in that position. Wasn't there a guy who tied a bunch of balloons to his lawn chair? This sounds like a Seattle thing, Hank. It sounds like a Washington type maneuver, or Florida. It's got to be one of those corners. And he probably had like a BB gun to shoot balloons if he needed to come down. Didn't he die? Pretty sure that was a bad plan all the way around. It was L.A. That's even worse. You have 0 landing spaces. You have 0 landing spaces in L.A. You don't have like occasional fields all over the place. Melanie, it was crazy. It was really crazy on Friday. I think it's going to get much more so with some of the witnesses that are going to be on there. I think it's going to be more colorful, quite interesting. I know we've got till, I think they've slotted till the 2nd of February for this trial. I'm not sure if it's going to run that long. Honestly, I'm not sure if we're going to get through it without a mistrial. But yeah. LA had the jetpacks guy too. Was it Arizona that had the rocket man that was going to prove the world was flat? I think he died on his last test as well. Ivan. My brother-in-law used to be into building bridge swings. Like you'd tie your own rope and build a swing and just jump off the bridge and then swing down through this chasm. And I'm not talking small ones either. I'm talking like the big ones that you see in canyons. I'm not that good with math. I cannot calculate things right, and it's like the rope would be too long with my guess, or too short. And how would I then, get down afterwards? How about those gender reveals that never go right? I've seen some pretty crazy ones. There are some that end in fatalities too, like the guy that flew over with the plane and crashed the plane. Let's see. Little Miss, good luck on your tests. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. My friend is the one who jumped with no parachute and landed in a net. I think I've seen that video. You fall so fast. I don't know. When you're way up high, everything looks like it's straight below you, right? But when you get close enough to actually see you're not lined up right, there's not much room to maneuver. And you're going down a lot faster than you're going over. Twobble says there are a lot of open spaces in LA. You only see the city in the car chases. The car chases do tend to be in the more populated areas. Yeah, after our first child, we didn't find out the gender on any of our others. Maybe the second. I think after the second. All right. I think we're ready to break for lunch today, and we won't be back till tomorrow morning, which means Amanda Lynn, you're responsible for the internet all day, all night until we go live tomorrow morning. We are going to be live a little bit earlier because court begins earlier. I think it begins about 8:30 or 9. I'm not sure. I think we're going to be live 8:30 tomorrow. 8:30 in the East. It's an Eastern time trial, so we're back on the East Coast. Sorry if you're on the West Coast. It's going to be an early start for everybody. But who asked this?
Did the defendant find out how the FBI finds people in this case? Oh, she found out.
Yeah, she found out.
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won.
Let's see. I might just dust and vacuum the entire house. Which one do you do first? Do you dust first so that the dust goes to the ground, then you vacuum it? Or do you vacuum first and then dust because the vacuum puts dust in the air? I think no matter which way you do it, you still have to do the other one more time. See, Nosy Rosie says, Jessica, thank you. I'm checking in on another RA family member going through tough times. Love this family. Thank you. Thank you, Nosy Rosie. Appreciate that. Thanks for looking out and checking on somebody. Ooh, get the Southern Febreze. This command comes up if you try to do roach too many times, too soon. Any chance we might watch the oral argument in the Court of Appeals after lunch? Which oral argument in the Court of Appeals? Is this the
Have them send someone with more experience.
Which oral argument is this, Mathis? Which one are you talking about? The J. Hatch appeal case number. Okay. Let's see. Do you have a link? Can you text to me to my phone? Oh, not sure what just happened, but it went away. I'm searching with Google Lens on something. Why? Okay, here we go. 2D213869.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
You just want the filing? Just want to do a read through, or let's see how many pages do we have? It's only 2 pages on this one. Hang on. Let's see. Mathis, are you able to send a link to either my email or...
Don't miss the forest for the trees.
Or I could temporarily allow you to send a link on live if that doesn't work. Looking for Mathis's response here.
Is that correct?
Judge Carroll has filed his order, but it won't be public until tomorrow when the clerk files it. All right.
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won.
When are we going to break for lunch, Judge?
I'm trying to find this, Mathis. Where's the link? Is it a video? I imagine the order is going to be the next hearing, how we proceed at this point. Somebody see Mathis's text as he responded? Need to know what Judge Carroll filed. I don't know yet. Apparently it's going to be live tomorrow. I'm not seeing any updates on the burner phone yet. We need today. If there's a filing out there, we'll look at it today, because I'd rather look at it when we don't have anything to do than when we have a case we're following. I'd love a housekeeper, but I'd have to clean first. No, that's not how it works. You get the housekeeper and you make them sign a non-disclosure agreement to never reveal how messy your house was when they first walked in. And then you're good. Paging Mathis agrees. Paging Mathis agrees. Please call the operator on a white paging phone. Okay. Does anybody have the filing? And we're talking about the J. Hatch appeal verbal arguments. He's ghosting us. Maybe he's getting a link. Might be trying to send it.
talking about stuff that is not relevant.
See you, Pam. Have a great day. I order someone to produce the filing, says Adam. Okay, I'm looking for where this would be. First of all, I don't know where the appeals court is. Which, let's see, Florida.
How does he do that? Someone with more experience.
Okay. He ghosted us. He's gone. He's in the wind.
What more do you need to see?
I'm not finding it. I'm looking through the Florida courts. Second District Court of Appeal, oral arguments.
Alex Stollett.
Archived oral arguments. Let's see. Yeah, Amber, do you have this? Are you sick? You have the appellate case link? Okay. Amber has the link. I'm watching for it. Just one second. I haven't seen Jules today. I saw her last week in another chat, so I know she's out and about. I think she's, I think health-wise, she's doing better.
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won.
I need to figure out why it keeps clipping the end of the N off. I don't know who won. Saw Jules in Legal Advice this morning. Wonderful. I was talking to Dr. Joe overnight this morning. He's got some stuff coming up that's going to be exciting. What's beeping? My back door, Hank. That's my back door and my front door. My house has an alarm system that is very interactive. It tells us everything that's happening 24/7. And I like it that way. It's very loud, but I hear when doors are opened and, you know, when things are tampered with. Sounds like a microwave. Ding, fries are done, right? Okay, so everyone I don't want to wear a tinfoil hat here and call it conspiracy, but everyone who's said that they have a link to this this hearing has now disappeared, and it has not contacted me. Oh, wait, here we go. Here's the main link. Florida Courts, District Courts of Appeal. Are we in 2nd District, though? Let's see, I need... $2D21 space 3869. Recovery Addict actually lives inside a microwave. Be short-lived. Rick says, we've been looking all over our house for that beeping. I'm glad you found it. Let's see. I don't know why they keep going in and out nonstop. Normally it's much less, but because it's warm outside right now, I mean, it's like 55 degrees. Jules might call in. I might have to plug in. Hey, look who it is.
Call from Jules.
Hey, Jules.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
Good. I've heard there was like some oral arguments about an appeal in this J-Hatch case, but I haven't found it yet.
No, courthouse is closed today for MLK Day, and the last filings that are on the docket were filed on January the 4th, and they're all locked.
Sealed.
Lots
of pages.
No access.
Hundreds and hundreds of pages.
Yes, and they're all sealed. They're locked. No access. No public access.
But I've heard.
I don't know where you got that from, though.
Let's see. I've heard there's an appeal case 2D21 space 3869. So I'm just not sure. Not sure where it's at, but
is it? I don't know that they would file it in Sarasota.
No,
and how could they file it? How could they file an appeal if the case has not been closed?
I think it's going to be in Second District, Florida Appeals, Second District Appeals Court. See, because that's what the 2D is for. 2D 21. That's when the case. I think it was 21 was when the case started, right? The latest version of the case.
21. Yes.
Okay, so they might have just made their filings. We knew this was going to go to appeal a long time ago, but it does seem weird that they start the appeal before the judgment's been entered.
Yeah. That's crazy. I don't think that. I don't think that they can do that.
It may be one of those things where they have a certain number of days after a verdict to file an appeal, and this would be that preliminary that placeholder. That
30, but we're long overdue. 30 days after a verdict, they have 10 days to notify that they're going to file for appeal, and then they have 30 days from that date to actually file the appeal.
So I think they've done that. What have you heard as far as what's coming up? And we've got the judge's order. Supposedly he filed something that will be posted tomorrow. Is that going to be our next step? It'll be a next hearing?
That's I don't know that it's going to actually be a hearing. It depends on if he doesn't do a final judgment and he only rules on the direct verdicts, then they could appeal that to him, and then there'll be a hearing. Or he rules on everything except for sanctions, and then they'll have a hearing on sanctions.
So I would think that sanctions would come either it's going to be right next to the judgment, right? Because it's going to be wrapped into the judgment, because there may be something that impacts the judgment that way. But so first I guess he has to sort of do remittitor before he can do the judgment, right? Because the judgment is when the interest starts, and then he wouldn't then lower the price afterwards. So remittitor has to come soon.
Right. Remember, Scott, he threw out mediation. Mr. Anderson, you may want to think about mediation. And to my knowledge, no one has sat down. No one has come to the table.
I would not expect them to do mediation until the judgment has been entered. So I think that would come after the judgment, because the amount that they're going to start from, if they start remediation now, they've got this $261 million number as the starting point on one side, okay, trying to find middle ground. But if they wait till after, say, remitted, that number could be much lower as the starting point. And it just means...
I don't think Judge Carroll, and I could be so off base about this, but I don't think he's going to come down. I think he may take away the award for Jack.
Right. And we're talking $5 to $15 million range, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think he may do something where that's concerned. But overall, I just have a feeling that he's not gonna touch it.
Yeah, I think defense is right in that the amount the judge is capable or like legally allowed to reduce them is so small that it won't make a huge difference on the verdict itself. So no matter what the judge does,
but the defense only wanted to give them what? What did they say? Was it $5 million or $10 million?
Initially, I thought there was a $60,000 at one point, but
that was early on.
But then they went up to like $5 million each or something like that.
I think that's what it was, and I don't know. I don't think that's satisfactory, but that's just me.
Okay, I just got from Amber the docket. Let's see. This is the search field. Let's see if I can make this work right. Let's go to.
Yeah, because I'm looking, I don't see it.
It's going to be in a different court. So this is going to be. Let's see. This is going to be the online dockets, Florida courts. Cases filed. Let's do case number. It's going to be 2D. What was our number? It was 2D 213869, right? So 2D 21 and then 3869. Submit. All right, so petition filed. I've got it here. This is case number, or Civil Centauri, not Centauri, Centauri. I cannot say that word. Petition from Sarasota County. Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital versus Jack Kowalski individually and on behalf of his children, with the lower tribunal case number of the 005-312 or 321 NC. So they filed the petition on 12/15. Original appendix. Let me scroll down here. What the latest? Let's see. Petition filed. Where are the docs, though?
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, so let me post this in chat so people can look at what I'm looking at, because it's a little bit confusing. This is mostly for just document hounds. So there's the online link that will get you right to that case page. To show what's happening. They filed a petition. Let's see. I'm not seeing it. The case
38, 69, submit. I'm not. Let me go back and change this to.
I don't see anything happening even this year on that list.
I don't either.
When are we going to break for lunch, Judge?
When are we going to break for lunch?
I don't see it.
Okay, maybe
I could make a phone call.
Oh, let's let people enjoy their day off here. But we'll watch and see if something gets posted on this one. Can we do stream investigation on why the door is being opened so much? Says Hank. I can tell you why. It's because I have 6 children. Of course, 5 of them are still at home, and it's good weather outside, and there's no school. So kids go in and out constantly. As long as the cat's not coming in, I'm good with that.
You got that right. Oh, how's the weather?
It's
you got snow yet?
It's about 60 degrees here.
Oh, okay.
55.
You're like us. All right.
So I think the worst of the snow, they got snow in the west, they got snow in central and north, but really I think I escaped a lot of this. Of course, we're going to get rain tomorrow, and it's going to cool down quite a bit. It's going to get really chilly, which is bad.
Yeah,
because,
we're supposed to get a turn by Wednesday.
Yeah. I found out that the water lines to our kitchen freeze because we have like a crawl space under the house, and the lines to our kitchen freeze, and they're PEX piping, which is supposed to not break when it freezes. It's supposed to be fine, but we tried to run hot water after we were gone for a day or two in the really cold weather. We tried to run hot water in the sink, and it just wouldn't. There was like barely anything coming out. So I told my wife, "Leave it going, just leave it as hot as you can, and just it will melt." And it did, and it melted. She says, "I've never had that cold water coming out of my sink before, but it was ice water."
Yeah, well, it's been a bit nippy here as well. So, but it's a pleasant change. I welcome this weather. So,
yeah, we have to have winter so we can have spring.
Yes, I agree. And yeah, Scott, I don't see anything. What I may do is I may make a phone call just to double check on this, but I don't see anything. I'm hoping today is the 15th. I'm hoping that by Friday we're going to have the judge's order. I don't think he's going to wait till the last day.
So he said by the 22nd, right? It was when he wanted to have this sort of done by?
By the 27th, by the 22nd or sooner.
And it could be, you're thinking it could be judgment? Like the clock starts now?
Yes. I'm thinking he's gonna make his rulings and enter the final judgment. I think so. Don't you think he's done?
I'm not sure if he's done listening to argument about remediator. I'm not sure if he.
But I mean in the sense that I'm over it. I want this done.
I think he's still vested in making sure that this process is followed perfectly so it withstands appeal. So whatever he has to do to make sure each step was done thoroughly, completely, and to a degree where it's beyond questioning, I think he's going to do that.
That I agree with 100%, but I think he's going to do the final judgment this week. I think by Friday. I don't think he's going to go to the 22nd. I think by Friday. I think he's going to want to put it out there on Friday and give everybody the weekend to digest what he did.
Doesn't that make them have to pay like interest over the whole weekend?
Yes. Yeah. I believe it's $57,000 a day.
So I've got my son working on a program, and I know I've got another person working on it as well, on a little software that will allow me to hit the button and start tracking the interest from the moment, and so we have like an interest counter that
That's genius.
So we can just pull it up and see at any point how much they owe right now. Because they haven't paid. But to do that, we need to know a couple things. We need to know what the final judgment is, right? The amount is key. We need to know the exact percentage, and I think we have that. And then we need to know the moment that the order goes in, because we're counting basically. It's about $57,000 a day if the amount doesn't go down. If $261 million is right. Greeners says it looks something like this. Greeners. I gave up on math when they started using letters instead of numbers, so I'm going to need you to fill that out in crayon and explain it as you would to a child.
I think that's genius, though.
When are we going to break the lunch, Judge?
And your son's going to set this up for you?
Yeah, he wrote a little. He programs in Python, and he wrote a little web page that runs locally on my network here, so I can access that, and I could take it like a camera, just like we're taking these cameras right here in Iceland. I could cut to or have on the screen like a little counter that would show what they owe. How fast it's accruing, and it counts twice a second. It updates twice a second, so it's just like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. It's like the gas pump, really, is what it looks like when you're filling up your car.
Yeah.
But it's
what's
faster.
The best part, sorry, Jay Hatch, the best part of when the interest starts kicking in, even when they file their appeal, it's not going to be heard right away. So that interest calculates day after day after day until the appeals court makes a decision. And did you get my text message I sent you yesterday?
Was it over TikTok?
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won.
Sorry, the sound effects are going.
No, I sent you to the burner phone. I sent you a text message. It's an article on JHatch.
Yes, they're opening a new hospital.
Are we going to address subject matter?
Sorry.
How does that work? Can you please explain this to me? I mean, didn't Ethan Shapiro stand in front of 6 jurors or 12, or whoever was there for the closing, and state, you're taking money away from sick children. We won't be able to buy the machinery to treat sick children. They won't have breathing machines. They won't get this. They won't get that. But they're breaking ground in Wesley Chapel for a new hospital.
Yep, they are. But they've got about $1 billion in funds that are available, and the capability to get loans as well. So,
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It seems strange, but yeah, I saw that text. You sent me the link to the story.
Yeah.
Let's see who was unlocking the rental. Unlocked by thumb turn. My kids are out in the Airbnb. All right.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, he says, I almost got drug into the Reddit rabbit hole looking for the new document. I have to get out of here. That's all right. I tell you, there are some things Reddit is good at, and they are good at digging things up. We had a clock that calculated the cost of meetings, combined salaries times the second spent in meeting. Bunsy McBunface, that is an awesome. Here's what needs to happen. When someone is late to a meeting, they need to reimburse everyone else that amount. But anyway, Jules, keep me in the loop. If you hear something that's happening, if you hear that something's gone down, obviously it looks like we'll probably have documents sometime early tomorrow morning from the judge's order. I would be surprised if it were the judgment, but I don't know. I guess it could be.
I can't. Why would he do that separately? I think he wants it all done. I think he's going to want it completed. I don't know. We'll see. I will make a phone call, a few phone calls, and see what I can find out on the appellate issue.
Yeah.
And I certainly will get back to you.
Sounds great.
Everybody, nice seeing you guys, talking to you.
Thank you, Jules. It's always good to talk to you as well.
Welcome. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Yes, we are making a counter for the daily interest accrued once judgment is filed, but it's, Abby, we're setting it up so that it calculates it updates every half a second, which basically means it looks like a gas pump as you're filling your tank with, $5 per gallon gas. It's just adding up, and it adds up very quickly. So I imagine that's what it's going to look like. $57,000 a day goes pretty quick. But if he enters the judgment, we'll have to rewrite the program to say start the counter at the time that it was filed, or the time that he hits the hammer. So we want it to be as accurate as possible. Interest is like our national debt. It just keeps going. Ivan, there are a lot of national debt calculators out there. You can get a whole bunch of apps that'll do that. I just need one to calculate interest on this specific debt, the verdict debt, the award. All right, with that done, it looks like there's no documents to cover directly in this case. So we're going to, I think we're going to wrap things up on this side and say, have yourselves a wonderful Martin Luther King Day. Have to add Junior in there. It's basically like the U.S. debt clock. Yep, there goes the beep. I'm going to investigate the beeping because I'm pretty sure the cat is in my house now. J Hatch is spending money defending themselves like it's water going down a drain. I can't imagine how much they've spent on the lawyers alone. Each hearing has to be thousands. Oh, they're spendy. It's a lot, but it takes a lot of thousands to make $1 million. So if they can save a couple million, it might be worth it. Nosy Rosie, thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Each American taxpayer is $250,000 in debt. If you can spare. If you guys can all just pay up now, get us all out of debt, that would be great. Arya is about to find all of his neighbors in the living room. All our kids out in the yard is more like it. Reverend Beasy, I just saw that you took a little spin on our regular outro. That's all right. Let's see. Stay warm. This is the big thing. Stay warm. Stay safe. We've got weather just about all over the country, and if you're not dealing with it now, you will very shortly have some severe winter weather that's going through. So please stay safe and warm. Tonight, when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe and warm until we go live tomorrow morning. We have this Treehouse murder trial, which will continue out of Key West, Florida tomorrow. We'll be joining that live and following all the proceedings out of Key West. So, happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I appreciate all those who joined and all the thoughts and sentiments that were shared on those regards. Don't just think it, let's do something about it. Right? Let's make today a little bit better. Let's make MLK a little bit prouder of how we act individually. So, let's see. Come to Megan Fox at 3 p.m. Fun game pregnancy case. Ooh. Pregnancy is not a game. I haven't heard about this one. I'm not sure. All right, I will do a quick check and see if somebody's out there that we need to jump over to right now. Let's see. See if there's anybody else we can redirect to. Let's see. Oh, Kurt's following this case right now, the Treehouse case. We got that. Storm Chaser Brian or Brandon something. Kensington. Surviving the Survivor. MLS is out there live. All right, let's jump over to Kurt really quickly because he's following the same trial. If you're still on catch up, you might as well watch it with somebody else. So we've got Kurt set up here, so we'll jump over there. You guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Be good to each other. Bye bye. Oh man, that's not the right picture.